Hey, welcome everybody. It's great to welcome you to, I almost said Chelsea City Hall, Revere City Hall. No. North Chelsea City Hall. All kidding aside, it's great to welcome everyone here to Revere City Hall. My name is Jay Ash. I'm the Secretary of Housing and Economic Development for the Commonwealth, and it's a great pleasure to welcome you here for an announcement of grants to support communities and people in those communities. I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Polito for making time out of her schedule to be here. I want to thank Mayor Arrigo, and I'll have him come up soon, for hosting us here. I want to thank Representative Rosalie Vincent and other representatives of the legislature who are here for support of this program and also being here to help make announcements. And mostly I want to thank all of you for coming here, some from way far away and others from real close. This kind of feels like a home game to me, but it's nice to have everybody here, so thanks for being here. Our administration believes that we can create a stronger Massachusetts economy by supporting local communities, and our urban agenda does just that. The Urban Agenda Grant Program was designed to create stronger urban neighborhoods all across the Commonwealth. Through this program, we are creating economic opportunities by unleashing entrepreneurship and connecting residents to workforce training opportunities. The projects we are going to announce today are representative of the best, the very best the Commonwealth has to offer. These communities that are receiving grants today are working collaboratively to take advantage of their, I really should say your specific opportunities and to leverage your strengths. The Lieutenant Governor is here and she will speak to what we are announcing in just a bit, but first I want to again thank and welcome our next speaker for being here. Mayor Arrigo has been a great partner to many of our communities while distinguishing himself in service here to Revere. We have been able to tap into the mayor to talk about economic development, to talk about community revitalization. It's great, Mayor, that you're opening up City Hall for us here, and it's great that we may even have a good piece of news for you and members of the City Council very shortly. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Arrigo.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate the warm welcome. Welcome everyone to the Revere City Hall. Before I begin, I just want to recognize a couple of our local officials who made it out today. I really appreciate their support. We have councilors at large, Stephen Morabito, Anthony Zambuto, Ward 1 City Councilor Joanne McKenna, Ward 2 City Councilor Ira Novoselsky, Ward 3 City Councilor Arthur Guanazzo, Ward 4 Patrick Keefe, Ward 5 John Powers, and Ward 6, Charlie Patch. We also have two members of the school committee, Stacy Rizzo and Jerry Visconti, in attendance this morning. Thank you all. And of course, our representatives of our state delegation who are here this morning. Representative Rosalie Vincent is here. I see Barbara Bishop and Joan Masillo from the Speaker's office. We greatly appreciate all of your support on the state level. Today marks one of those special occasions where, as mayor, I get to do a couple of pretty cool and interesting things. I get to officially accept good news that will promote the vital functions that local government undertake every day. I get to share this great news with some of my colleagues, some coming from a long way away, and constituents. I get to applaud the eager efforts of the team from the City of Revere and the neighborhood developers who took an enlightened idea and crafted a compelling application. And in a very public forum, I get to extend a very personal thank you to the individuals who recognized the quality and the merit of our application and deemed it worthy of an urban agenda grant. To Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito and Secretary of Housing and Economic Development Jay Ash, on behalf of a very grateful city, I say thank you. Our city's connection to Secretary Ash, and some of you may or may not know this, extends over many years. And in one way, or another, going back to his days working the counter at Kelly's Roast Beef, hence the sandwiches we have this afternoon, he has served Revere well. Today, his vision, his exuberance for municipal and public engagement, and his keen appreciation for the Commonwealth's strengths have helped guide Massachusetts to become the home of one of the nation's most potent economies, where the hopes and dreams of thousands of new residents can come to fruition. In that sense, Revere's utilization of the Urban Agenda grant monies will symbolize the ideals embodied in the Economic Development Plan that the administration of Governor Charlie Baker and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito proposed when they assumed office. This $50,000 grant will help fund a collaboration between the City of Revere and the neighborhood developers to establish in Revere the program Connect. And Connect is a program that has enjoyed enormous success in Chelsea to improve the financial mobility of low-income families. The Revere location will serve as an access point to Connect's one-stop career center and financial capability services. Thanks to this program, our residents can turn to the talented, dedicated staff at Connect for help finding a job, developing employment skills, and growing skills vital to personal management of household incomes. There's no doubt that the vibrations of Boston's economic explosion are felt quite emphatically here in the city of Revere. And programs such as Connect are crucial to our residents reaping the benefits of the region's economic growth. And so we are especially grateful to the Baker and Polito administration for its cooperation and assistance. I am proud of the wonderful relationship that the city of Revere has enjoyed with Governor Baker and Lieutenant Governor Polito. I am honored to once again roll out the welcome mat, whether it's to march in our Columbus Day Parade, open up our 311 call center, or days like today as Lieutenant Governor Polito and Secretary Ash announced great news of the Urban Agenda grant funding. Lieutenant Governor Polito, you and Governor Baker have done incredible work to embrace cities and towns all over the Commonwealth. And in Revere, I think you know this, you will always receive a warm welcome. So on an occasion like today, it gives me great pride to wholeheartedly say, welcome to Revere and thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth, Karen Polito.
Well, that is indeed a warm welcome on a Monday morning. It's great to be here, great to be back here. And usually when I come or Secretary Ash comes, it's good news, usually. But when we both come, it's definitely good news. So this is a great day. And as I look around this room and see so many from the home city here, and most all the city councilors, Rose Lee, and the staff, the economic development team standing in the back row, standing room only, and then to see so many come from all across the state to be here, we greatly appreciate the partnership with all of you. I want to thank our HED team as well and Secretary Ash. They have led this Commonwealth forward, not only in Jay Ash's home area here in Chelsea and Revere and Everett in this area, but all across this Commonwealth. And as I come to this room, Charlie and I are enormously grateful to the team that we've been able to put together as part of our administration, and beyond that, the team that we've been able to put together with the cities and towns, the managers, the counselors, the selectmen, the people who wake up in our communities and go to town hall and city hall and make the decisions on behalf of the people in their community. The same people that make those decisions are worrying about their community and thinking ahead and planning for it. And I really believe the hallmark of Massachusetts' success story today is the team approach that we are taking to our work. And it's working, and as Governor Baker often says, when you find something that's working, do more of it. So this team approach to bringing opportunity and unleashing more potential in all areas of our Commonwealth is working, and we certainly will do more of this. Today, I come here with an announcement, but it does fall on the heels of some other announcements that are worth highlighting. Just recently, a $1.5 million announcement for the Northern Strand Community Trail. And it just is a demonstration of how you're working not only for your community but as a region. Everett, Lynn, Malden, Saugus, and Revere coming together around a quality of life initiative that's really important for the individuals and families who choose to live here. And looking at our MassWorks program. MassWorks and JASH go, hand in hand, if you haven't noticed already. But before programming the MassWorks opportunity to further partner, Jay and his team took it to the streets and literally listened to the people in all parts of our Commonwealth and created an economic development plan called Opportunities for All. And one piece of that plan is the MassWorks program that is available to cities and towns and others to leverage private dollars and public dollars and figure out how we can create more economic activity in your community. What I love about the MassWorks program, and the one that we're talking about today, is that these are community-driven. And one of the things that Jay and I assess when we come into a community are the leaders, who in the community are coming together to make decisions for the community. When you have a leadership team, you've got a major asset right there. And then that leadership team prepares plans and outlines the vision for the community. And then it's a partnership where we can bring more resources to help that plan become a reality. So certainly the $85 million or so that we've announced in MassWorks infrastructure grants are working throughout this Commonwealth. We were also able to announce $1.5 million in collaborative workspaces. This is a really neat program that was part of Jay's thinking about how can we create places in a community where startup companies can go to and share resources and help their idea become an enterprise, a small business. And then that small business work to grow and create more jobs and then grow to scale and become an even larger commercial enterprise in this Commonwealth. And as we've gone through our learnings and our travelings across the Commonwealth, we're always looking for opportunities for communities to follow through with their plans. So whether it's a site readiness grant or this collaborative workspace or this infrastructure grant, it's really important for you to be able to plan for your future. This is not the economic development team. This is not Charlie and Karen up on Beacon Hill or the legislators dictating the terms. It's you figuring out what you want to do, and then we partner together to help make it all come to reality. The other piece of this is that we live in an incredible state with 78 coastal communities, and then, of course, heading out to the Berkshires, to the most beautiful rural areas of our Commonwealth. And this is not a one-size-fits-all approach. And that's where the fun comes into this. That when we can really understand what it is that a community wants and a region wants, then we should develop plans around that thinking. That's why in the economic development plans that we put in place, we have a rural agenda for the smaller communities sprinkled throughout our state that operate and function in a very different way than a suburban community or an urban community. Today is an opportunity to highlight what's happening in urban centers throughout the Commonwealth, building on the gateway city models that we put in place, but then really getting a little deeper into what the strategies should be, not only citywide, but in neighborhoods and in pockets and places within an urban area. And so the urban agenda and the grants that we're announcing today allow a city to partner with something else in the community. It could be a nonprofit, could be a business group, to then really think about what the economic opportunity is in that neighborhood and how do we take that opportunity and start to lay out a plan and create more jobs and services and restaurants and activity. So today, this is the second year that we are announcing Urban Agenda grants, and a total of $500,000 will be awarded to 9 communities today. And I want to commend each and every one of you today, because this was a competitive grant round, over 30 applications for these funds today. And the 9 communities receiving funds certainly did rise to the top of the applicant pool for this second round of grants. So congratulations to each and every one of you. We're going to call you by name when the secretary comes back. But my final word is just thank you for being our partner. Thank you for thinking, caring, and worrying about your neighborhood and your community. And as I've been able to come through this Commonwealth, Revere was one of the very first to sign one of the best practices compacts that we've offered through our program. We're now at 331 communities working on best practices to strategize and improve local government. But what you're helping our administration do, and Jay Ash and his team, is to knit together a stronger Commonwealth of Massachusetts through all of the cities and towns of this great state. And it's not just for us that we do this for. We do this for the next generation, our kids, the next entrepreneur, the next person who wants to call Massachusetts their home, because it's all here. Good schools, good neighborhoods, good communities, lots of jobs, lots of opportunity to have a good quality of life right here in Massachusetts. So you're part of something really special and important in your neighborhood, but you're part of something really big for our Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So congratulations, and thank you for being in the room today. You earned it.
So what I'll do is I'll call up communities, and we'll take a picture with the Lieutenant Governor on the side. We're going to roughly go alphabetically. As listening to the speakers, the Urban Agenda Program, many of us have worked together in the past and have worked collaboratively with our partners in the community. And I recall the I'm losing all the grants. I recall the effort that many of us have waged on Working Cities Challenge with the Boston Fed, and this really is an opportunity to build upon all that we've done together with the Working Cities Challenge. And as you're talking to people from the Boston Fed, or you're talking to others that have built off of that, if you just remind them that the work that we've done through the Working Cities Challenge has made a difference in our communities, but has also spurred us to go off and do other things, create other programs where we bring community together, we bring stakeholders together, we come together to support our community. As a result, we make good things happen for lots of people. So thanks everyone for all the involvement. I learned an awful lot as city manager when we went through the Working Cities Challenge. I learned a lot from a lot of people in the room. In some cases, it was the first time I met some of you, and it's incorporated now into this, and we have the fruits of that work right here. So roughly in alphabetical order, I'm going to welcome up Boston. Boston and Mattapan is getting the Urban Farming Institute of Boston Award for working well at the Fowler Clark Epstein Farm for $40,000. Hi, quiet. Good. Here we go. I'm going to jump in here too. Let's see. So there, the Urban Farming Institute is going to work on economic resiliency for Mattapan residents, so congratulations. Clinton STEM Center feasibility study, $25,000. Clinton will be helping youth and help those in need of workplace readiness and skills training, and will promote creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Come on.
You came a long way, so happy to have you. Come right in, right in the middle. Yep.
Framingham, the Framingham Business Resource Alliance, $75,000 will help local small businesses. Good to know, thank you. All the way from Greenfield, Second Chance Employment and Training Initiative, $75,000. Second Chance through this grant will help people in recovery or with complex barriers to employment gain the workforce access. And from Holyoke, Greater Holyoke Chamber Centennial Foundation Spark Entrepreneurship Program, $60,000. The $60,000 will help the partnership of 12 community partners offer resources to entrepreneurs in and around Holyoke. Telling stories about our traffic stop, Kathy. Told the Lieutenant Governor. I'm in Holyoke. I'm stopped at a traffic light. I look up my rearview mirror, and who pulls up behind me? Kathy. So I jumped out to say hello, and she was startled, I think. She did take out $1. She thought I was going to wash her windshield, but it was pretty funny. Let's see, Lowell. Lowell, Coalition for a Better Acre, supporting training education program STEP, $50,000. And that grant is going to help produce a collective impact on low-income immigrant and refugee neighbors. Next up, New Bedford, the Greater New Bedford Workforce Investment Board, Inc., WOM Entrepreneurship. Oh, I like that. WOM, W-O-M, Entrepreneurship, Women Entrepreneurship and Business. This program will help women start and grow their business. I like that, WOM. We're having some fun up here in case you hadn't. Springfield Economic Development Council of Western Mass, Springfield Works, Working Cities Challenge. Rick, there's a lot to be said there. $75,000. Over 30 partners are going to work on expanding coaching and mentoring programs to help low-income Springfield residents achieve long-term economic success. Just want to welcome back to town Rick Sullivan. Many of you remember Rick has held multiple positions on the previous administration, including at one time being responsible for DCR's property as DCR Commissioner. So did a lot for Revere Beach, has a special place in his heart for Revere, and has been to Kelly's once or twice. So Rick, thanks for being back here. And last up, our hosts, Revere, the neighborhood developers, Revere Connections, $50,000. Let's look at Molly first. The real camera, the Canon, who is that? That's who we should be looking at. Right? Okay. So the urban agenda is made possible by the vision of the governor and lieutenant governor who have committed to making sure that we stretch the vitality of the Commonwealth is seeing throughout the entire state. We have great partners in the audience who are making us proud and creating programs that we should be investing in. And we're very excited about what you all are going to do in your communities, and we stand ready to help you out. Another partner is the legislature. Without the legislature's approval, without the legislature's partnership, we wouldn't be able to offer these grants. So I'm going to ask Representative Rosalie to come on up, and to Rosalie Vincent to come on up, and to offer a few words on behalf of all the legislature in support of this program. Representative?
I don't know if it shows. Good morning, everyone. Actually, good afternoon. I'd like to be here on behalf of the state delegation. Speaker of the House, obviously, Bob DeLeo is not here, but two of his amazing staffers are Barbara Bishop and Joan Masillo. Are you around? Can they stand up? And Senator Joe Boncore would be here as well, but he had an unexplained emergency that he had to go to. But I'm just here, and I'm happy to be here to accept this urban grant for the city of Revere. The Urban Agenda Grant Program is truly a wonderful example of how the state can partner and help foster and cultivate economic vitality and safe neighborhoods in urban communities like Revere. I'd like to thank the Baker-Polito administration for their generosity and their commitment to promoting workforce development in our urban areas. I look forward to seeing this grant come to fruition and to see the wonderful things that it will bring to our city. So I would like to thank you all for being here, and especially thank you to Karen Polito, our Lieutenant Governor, and our Secretary, Jay Ash, and of course our Mayor, Brian Arrigo. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Vincent. Last up, I guess to represent everybody who has received a grant. Lieutenant Governor mentioned that the governor has a saying of do more of what works. We especially love to see when something works that it gets replicated. And Ann Houston is over here working with all of you in Revere. She would privately tell you that she got all the kinks out of everything in Chelsea, and now is bringing the final product over to Revere. I'm happy to have worked with her to get some of those kinks out. I don't want to call Ann an old friend. I'll call her a trusted and longtime friend. But Ann and Neighborhood Developers has done wonderful work every place they have been. I'm so glad to see the Neighborhood Developers come to Revere to work with all of you, and I'm so glad that Revere has embraced the Neighborhood Developers. At my time in Chelsea, Ann was a go-to person for me. Spent an awful lot of time talking to her spent an awful lot of time listening to her, and spent even more time implementing the good things that she was trying to accomplish in Chelsea. I know that you're having the same relationship, and I'm really proud that you all are getting together and working together. Ann is helping to bring Connect, which has been an important program in Chelsea, a groundbreaking program in Chelsea, is now working to make that possible over here in Revere, and we're glad to have presented her and the city of Revere with an award to do so. So I'll welcome up Ann Houston from the Neighborhood Developers.
So we have to go to events to see Secretary Ash these days, but it's always a treat. So really deep thanks to the Lieutenant Governor for this award. You know, the work that you and Secretary Ash have done around really encouraging and building partnerships is at the heart of what we believe really works in our communities. Our challenges are often feel pretty daunting, and yet we know the best way, the successful way, is when we partner with our communities and really understand how together we can meet the needs. I learned that lesson from Jay. It was an extraordinary experience to spend probably 11 years really thinking about how we could build partnerships between the nonprofit and the municipal community and our business community to serve our cities well. And so, Mayor Arrigo, we are so honored that you have both embraced the breadth of our work, but particularly that you've invited us to come and bring Connect to the city of Revere. And special thanks to, we all know that there are always other people that do the real work. And so Economic Development Director Bob O'Brien and TND's Director of Resource Development, Nancy Turner, are really the heart of this. So we have learned that really the most effective way to helping low-income individuals achieve sustainable living wage jobs and financial resilience is through a single one-stop center. You know, I'm sure that you experience the same sort of thing in Central Mass, that often in our smaller communities, services are really dispersed across the community, and that doesn't actually meet the needs of people. And so, Connect, it really breaks the barrier of dispersed services with an innovative and award-winning partnership that brings 5 organizations have co-located and integrated their services into the one office to offer really integrated services. Now, we serve 2,300 people from Revere with Connect. But we know that for many, proximity to services is another barrier, especially at the very beginning of services. So we have begun to do some partnership with the Revere Public Schools. This grant will allow us to really deepen that partnership and bring our services to where families are really going every day with their children, places that they feel comfortable. We think that offering these deeper services in the schools might actually also deepen their connection to the schools. So it's a win-win for both sides. So we're gonna, there are a couple of other really important pieces. We're going to support Mayor Arrigo's launching of an economic development task force to make sure that Revere has the labor to meet the coming jobs. And we're going to especially look at a hospitality job training program there are 120 new hospitality jobs coming to Revere. We want to make sure that Revere residents take advantage. And so special thanks to Sunny Schwartz from our Metro region, the Metro West Regional Employment Board, for really helping us move that piece forward. So thank you. We promise to do good here.
So I want to thank my staff for helping put this together. So these are the way that these programs work. The governor and lieutenant governor call us in and say they have a broad vision for how to promote economic development in the community, and they'll worry about working with the legislature to get the money. They contact the legislature works well together. They get that down to me as the secretary, and then I call on my staff and I say, staff, we have this charge from the governor and lieutenant governor. Let's put together a great program. We put together a great program. We send out an application, and then all of you and so many more send back terrific applications. And it's up to Juan Vega, who's in the back of the room, former Chelsea City Councilor Juan Vega, who is now the Assistant Secretary for Communities and Development in my office, Communities and Programming in my office. And Juan reads through each one of your applications, brings together a group of other officials from state government, and we score each of the applications against the criteria we've set out. Juan laments over your applications on a regular basis because there are so many good applications with so many people trying to do well in their communities. And what Juan does, what I try to contribute to, what the lieutenant governor and the governor try to contribute to, is when we hear about your applications, we try to contribute some suggestions as to how your application be strengthened either for this round or the next round, and how the programs can be carried out. So it's a team effort. Back at our shop, leading from the governor and all the way through assistant secretaries and program directors. And I want to thank my staff here, and especially Juan Vega, for so much work on this program. So thanks very much. So I worked at Kelly's Roast Beef when I was growing up. The best part of working in Kelly's Roast Beef wasn't the $4.25 an hour I made when I was working there, which, by the way, was like $1.20 more than the minimum wage at the time. The best part of working at Kelly's Roast Beef was you were allowed to eat anything you wanted as long as you didn't eat in front of the customers. So we would wear these bibs, the white bibs that you'd all see, and we'd make a little pouch in the bibs, and inside the pouch would always be some type of food. And so I don't have a bib anymore, I don't have a pouch, but I'm about to have a roast beef sandwich. So I want to thank Kelly's for being here. Has been a great part of the Revere community and now so many other communities around the state. When you talk about quality food, when you talk about businesses that care about the communities, their communities, Kelly's is one of them. So thanks everyone for Kelly's for dropping off some great food. Thank you all for being here, and we look forward to being able to partner with you on more economic development, community development, and most importantly, people development work that you are doing in the community. So thanks everyone for being here today. Will be a group photo?